Right about now. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm Alex, as always, Alex Chisnell here from the Festival of Enterprise, broadcasting live from Poole in Dorset. I'm joined today on this webinar, which is called Gain a Competitive Advantage with Hybrid Cloud Solutions. So I'm joined today by Syed Mohiuddin, who's in India right now, dining in, I think he said Hyderabad, am I right?
That's right, yeah.
Yes.
That's right, Alex.
There we go, brilliant. Right in the middle of rainy monsoon season, whereas most of us here in the UK are probably going to experience the hottest week of the year thus far. So I hope you all managed to get out and enjoy some of this nice weather after being locked up for the best part of the last 2 or 3 months, I guess now, and we're seeing the economy over here opening up, more announcements with regards to shops opening in different parts of the UK. How have things been over in India, Syed? With the
it's the same. So they are calling it. They are opening up slowly. So we have had like a morning day lockdown removal, but in the nights it's still locked down. And then there are limitations on what is open, what is not. Some shops are open, some are not. So most of the essentials are kind of open right now. But anything that's not essential, it's pretty much going to be in phases. So maybe in phase 3, phase 4, they'll plan and see what else they would like to open up. So pretty much the same everywhere. One thing that is common across the globe, I guess.
Ours has been phased now. So it's like non-essential shops are now starting. I think they opened last week, and I know that my wife's got a beauty salon, so that's opening July the 4th, and other businesses very similar. So we'll get there. And a useful topic today for a lot of people. We've done a few webinars now talking about different cloud solutions. People, working remotely as well. So to tell you a little bit more about this webinar before I hand over to Syed. So he's head of IT infrastructure solutions, UK small business with Dell Technologies. He's got over 15 years experience. We've just been chatting offline before we came on here to join you all today. And he's been helping customers transform their business through digital IT workforce and security technology solutions. And today on this webinar, we're going to be discussing what's driving cloud adoption in the market, how cloud can help small business thrive, different cloud adoption models, and why hybrid cloud is a growing strategy for success, and how Dell Technologies can help you get started with hybrid cloud. So without further ado, I am going to switch screens so you can see Syed's presentation. There we go. Okay, brilliant. And without further ado, just to give you a tiny bit of housekeeping, everybody, any questions today with regards to hybrid cloud, Dell Technologies, anything you'd like to ask, pop the questions in the chat function that you'll see on the right-hand side. And then Syed, myself, will be able to answer those at the end. So any questions at all, any comments that you've got, any commentary, if you'd like to share your LinkedIn profile as well, I've shared mine up there. Happy to connect with everybody after this. Then, normally we'd be doing these kinds of things in networking situations, which obviously isn't happening at the moment. So I do encourage you to let us know who you are, where you're from, what you're up to. The more the better. And those of you also watching on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube Live, if you would like to come and join this webinar and interact with us, just go to festivaloфenterprise.co.uk to register. But if you're on the beach on a day like today and you're watching this on Facebook Live or Twitter, then that's absolutely fine as well. Pop some comments in there. Okay, so I can see people joining us now. We've got live attendees. So I'm going to hand over to Syed, who's going to talk more about Dell Technologies hybrid cloud.
Thanks, Alex, for the opportunity. Thank you very much. So, hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're based out of. So, my name is Syed Mohiuddin Ahmed. I work for Dell Technologies, and I head the infrastructure solutions business for small business in UK. So today, as Alex said, I'm going to talk about Dell Technologies hybrid cloud. But before I get into that, I would just like to touch base on what's the new normal, how cloud can benefit you. So let me just move forward. But before I get into the topic, just a quick slide to tell you that we have our advisors available just for you who are just a call away. So you have the number on the screen, or you can also reach out to us on the below link. We have the advisors are ready to help you, provide you consultation, and help you in your strategy, be it the IT or digital strategy. We can help you with that. So with that, let me just go to the next slide, which is agenda, which talks about the new normal, that is during COVID, post-COVID. Then we'll touch base on cloud. What are the benefits of cloud for SMBs? Why cloud or multi-cloud? How is it different? How Dell Technologies as a player in the market can help you in that transformation. So here we go. So the first slide. So as I said, the current situation and maybe the post-COVID situation has actually put a lot of pressure on companies to innovate, to change the way they have been operating. With this situation right now, a lot of companies right now who are actually still able to cater to the customers are the ones who were able to, move towards work from home scenario, were able to still reach out to their customer using digital platform. And there were a lot of other companies who didn't had that, but what they quickly did was they straight away opted for new applications, new models of delivering applications to customer. They opted for VDI solutions. I myself was involved in a lot of discussions with customers on VDI solutions, wherein they wanted to have their employees work from home and connect to the office network just like they would do from office. And then obviously other thing was the software as a service solutions that was being offered by cloud providers. A lot of people opted for there. So the pressure right now for the companies right now and moving forward is to build these applications which can be delivered to their employees remotely anywhere in the world, and at the same time ensure their customers are able to connect to them through digital platforms. And then obviously it has to be done securely. Now in order to do that, then you need to have the right infrastructure in place. Obviously the situation is not good when it comes to finances, which is why a lot of people were looking at leveraging what they currently have, and at the same time expanding on their existing infrastructure to support the new normal, and at the same time try and see if they can build flexibility within their infrastructure so they can prepare for the future. And that's how you people are right now looking at maybe cloud as a solution. Maybe they are investing in their own infrastructure, making it more flexible. And then at the end, which obviously is the most important part, the operating model. One of the reasons why a lot of customers also are looking for cloud is because of the benefits they get through cloud, which is like operational model rather than capital expenditure. So you can pay monthly or quarterly or yearly, however that might be. And at the same time, every time any company used to invest in infrastructure, one of the most important thing was ROI. What is the return on investment? What is the total cost of ownership? And now during this time, that is one thing that has taken a back seat, because it is not just about ROI anymore. It is about having the right technology to support their customers and ensure the productivity of their employees are not impacted. But yes, ROI will be in subconscious mind, but that is something that has taken a back seat. And what other things that are also happening or might happen post-COVID is manufacturing and supply chain management. A lot of companies and for that matter, governments are actually trying to bring back manufacturing into their own countries, be it the companies as well, because the situation like COVID has taught them that it is not wise to have everything in one place, because a situation like this will affect them in a big manner. So right now, people are looking at different ways of moving away manufacturing and having it in multiple locations, different supply chain management solutions. Now, with all this, as I said, a lot of people are moving towards cloud. But now, this is actually this is a bit old slide, but I thought it will make more sense now. As per IDC predicted that 60% of the global GDP will be through digital platform. But if you look right now, I would tend to believe it is more than 60%, because everyone is locked down, and all the essentials, all the services, all the payments, everything that they do right now is through a digital platform. So it is no more going to be 2022, but this unfortunate thing, COVID, have actually brought it more forward. Right now, everyone is looking to have a digital presence so that they can cater to their customers. They can ensure their employees are working productive. and they can access the data, they can access the applications from anywhere in the world. And that is one reason why more and more people started looking at cloud as the destination, which is I wouldn't say which is wrong, but I wouldn't say cloud is a destination. Cloud is a very good operating model for that matter. So before that, let's before we try and understand what cloud, how it does is, I actually pulled out this slide, which I thought will be beneficial, maybe for not all, maybe for some of you guys as well, because different people have different definitions of cloud in the mind, different understanding of what cloud is. But I thought I'll just pull this, simple example or definition of cloud, which is cloud computing is a model for enabling ubiquitous, convenient, on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computer resources, whatever that might be. Applications running out of cloud, applications hosted by cloud services, servers, storage, networking. The benefit: this can be rapidly provisioned and released with a minimal management effort. And that is one thing that small business likes a lot: minimal management. Because as a small business, one of the challenges is that they don't have the liberty to have the, a full strength of IT management team working in house, which is why we have third party consultants, which is why people look at cloud wherein it is managed by someone else. And some of the services that are being offered, the types of cloud that are being offered, are software as a service. And one of the examples for that is, I will say, Salesforce. Salesforce is a software as a service wherein a company is hosting an application wherein you have your data and you will be able to access it from anywhere in the world using any device. Another type of service which is being utilized much often is platform as a service, where Dell, we have Pivotal, through which we offer these services, but it is for companies who have their own building their softwares, and they need a platform to build their software, so they can opt for these kind of services. And some of the companies who doesn't have the right infrastructure in place, they opt for infrastructure as a service, wherein a third party, a cloud provider, is providing them the infrastructure and they are just using their infrastructure and hosting their own services. And why cloud? Mano, or what is the benefit? It gives on demand self service. You have a broad network access, rapid elasticity, resource pooling. And then different models: we have public, which is like Azure or AWS, Google. And then we have private, someone can build their own private cloud on in-house. And then we have community. Community is something where, a group of companies coming together, same companies, maybe all the healthcare industry, coming together and saying we'll build a cloud for ourselves. And then they will innovate, they will start working on it. And a combination of this is called hybrid. So let's quickly try and see where we are right now. So this slide will just talk about, where the industry is right now. And it talks about why digital transformation is a journey and not a destination. Just like cloud is not a destination, it is just an operating model. Now, if you look at here, we have phase one, phase two. Now, 93% of small businesses have some form of virtual environment created in their office. So they have physical environment and they also have some kind of virtual environment. So I would say most of the companies have already completed the phase one. So they have some kind of virtual environment running, maybe on a VMware ESXi environment or a Microsoft Hyper-V environment. And now a lot of these companies have also have some kind of cloud solution. Maybe it is only in terms of buying a space to save their data, having a shared storage, or maybe hosting websites. So phase one is more or less kind of complete, but a lot of companies have also gone into phase two. Now, what next? And that's where hybrid cloud comes in. So now we have companies who have a mix of maybe in-house infrastructure which is running on virtual environment, and they also have some of the data or some of the applications which is hosted in the cloud platform. Right now, the team within the company is managing their internal infrastructure using different management tools, and at the same time they are managing cloud infrastructure using different management tools. And that's why we say a hybrid cloud is the right way forward. Let me just explain that to you in detail. Now, what this slide shows is there are different types of clouds available in the market, and every single cloud, be it AWS, Microsoft, or Google, they have their own uh, goods and bads. Some cloud company is good at one thing, other is good at other thing. So for example, if a company opts for some space on cloud, maybe let's take an example of AWS, and they are paying X amount of money to save X amount of storage. And then over the period, they realize Microsoft is good at something else, maybe collaboration. and then they opt for a collaboration services for Microsoft, and then they realize hosting is good for Google, and they opt for these kind of services. Now what we are doing is, although it is software as a service or as a service being delivered to you, but right now for your IT team, you have different management tools, one for Google, one for Microsoft, one for AWS, one for VMware, which is creating a lot of silos. And then at the same time, you also have your internal infrastructure. Now that's where small business, or even large enterprise for that matter, is facing the challenge, because it is not easy for you to also move data from migrate data from one cloud to another, because of the fact it is not easy. If you like, let's say VMware is better or AWS is better in one thing, and I want to move from another cloud to AWS or VMware, how easy is it to migrate the data from one cloud platform to another? Because everyone uses a different hypervisor, everyone have a different management console. How do you migrate the data? Now all these challenges have come up, which is exactly why we say, when we decide on what needs to go on cloud and how we need to manage cloud, we need to look at these three different laws: laws of physics, laws of economics, and laws of land. Laws of physics: can I host everything on cloud? If I host everything on cloud, will I get the same kind of performance on the applications which requires fastest access? Latency, IOPS, output input output performance. How fast is it to access the data? Is it faster to access in in-house on premise, or is it faster to access the data from a cloud provider? Laws of economics: is cloud always cheaper? Maybe, maybe not. There are different kinds of service. You can opt for one service which says you can take a 5 TB of storage, for example, for $500. The same 5 TB of storage with the faster access, with a high availability, might cost you 4 times more. So it is not always cheaper to opt for public cloud. And then you also have laws of land, wherein governments and countries are writing laws which talks about how the customer information should not move out of the country. And the data, the customer information, for example, in UK, EMEA, Europe region, we are talking about GDPR, data compliance, customer information. Now we have to decide between these three. And one of the research companies called ESG, they have actually had a survey with a lot of CEOs globally, and 90% of the CEOs have said, I have presence in public cloud, all my data sitting there, but I want to bring it back to on premises. And the major reason being, on premises data will give me faster access, and from a cost point of view, it will also be beneficial. However, I would like to build a private cloud of my own. And 83% of these people say we need consistencies across cloud. We don't want to have different management tools. We don't want to hire multiple people with different skill set. We want one guy to be able to manage the entire infrastructure, rather than one, maybe less number of guys. And at the same time, we want to have faster access to data and have a higher ROI or TCO for that matter. And that's exactly where we say, the future isn't public or private, it's hybrid. It's a mix of public cloud or a private cloud, wherein you can offload things like backup, offload things like archival data, offload things which are absolutely unpredictable towards the public cloud, and things which are very predictable, which are my mission critical applications, wherein I require very high performance on premises, building a private cloud of your own. And that's exactly where we come in. Dell Technologies have just a couple of months back introduced a Dell Technologies cloud solution, and we have built the solution on top two leaders with top two leaders in the market: VMware, the leader in cloud, leader in virtualization, leader in software-defined data center, and Dell EMC, who's the leader in data center solutions. Now, these two companies have come together, and we have built Dell Technologies Cloud, one cloud experience solution. Now, how exactly it's going to be beneficial for you? Let's quickly have a look at it. Now, what you can do is you can have your in-house private cloud built on Dell EMC infrastructure, and on top of that, you can run VMware. So to start with, you can run ESXi, virtualize your environment, and over the period of time, when you look at adopting public cloud or a private cloud, you can install things like VMware Cloud Foundation. With VMware Cloud Foundation, you will not just be able to create a private cloud of your own, but at the same time, you will also be able to move data between private cloud and any of these public cloud, be it AWS, Google, Microsoft, and 4,200 other partners that we have with Dell. You can move the data between using VMware Cloud Foundation. Now, VMware Cloud Foundation will also become your single control plane. Now, you don't have to have a different management console for AWS, Azure, Google, and separate for internal, but you have one management console which will allow you not just to manage your internal infrastructure, but also your cloud infrastructure. And at the same time, you can pick and choose what workload, what application, what data you want to move to public or bring back on site. And all that can be done with VMware Cloud Foundation. Now, what we have done is, it's not just us who believe this is the right approach. AWS, Microsoft, Google, they have also on many occasions have pointed out that public is not the answer to everything. It is not a destination, it is just an operating model, and which is why they have partnered with companies like Dell so that they can also build on private cloud, creating a bigger hybrid cloud infrastructure. Now, what do we have to offer you with Dell Technologies Cloud? Now, you can consume our solutions in three different ways. You can either go for a HCI platform, which is a turnkey appliance, which is built with minimum 4 nodes. All the software is pre-installed with VMware Cloud Foundation, which allows you to build your in-house private cloud. At the same time, connect with all the third-party clouds like AWS, Azure, Google, and other 4,200 plus partners. And if you're not looking at turnkey application appliance and you have a team of IT people who can do it yourself, now you can use your existing infrastructure. You can add a few devices to your existing infrastructure, expand that. On top of that, you can buy our VMware licensing with VMware Cloud Foundation, and you can build your own private cloud at the same time, connect with public using VCF. And if you don't want to do either of them, then you can also get data center as a service with Dell Technologies, wherein you specify what services you need. On our data center, we will host your hardware infrastructure, we will hold an application, and we will provide you both private and public based on what you require. You can switch between the different strategies, different cloud models as and when you require. So where do you start from? So I've just put this slide just to tell you what should be the starting point for a small business, because hybrid cloud is not just about going ahead and starting it. You need to build a base for it. Now, for a lot of customers, they have already virtualized their environment. They are at stage one, completed stage one. Stage two, for most of them, looks like building some kind of high availability. So they can overcome failures. They can have a highly available infrastructure, which doesn't go down. Then a step forward is to create a cloud. So if you are running your server virtualization on VMware, distributed virtualization on VMware, just by adding VCF solutions on top of it, you can build your own private cloud, and you can have self-service provisioning, you can have automation, you can have chargeback facility. Plus, apart from that, you can also decide what data or what applications you wish to move to public cloud. And then you can go to stage 4, which will be a combination of private and public, which in turn is nothing but multi-cloud. So you can have X amount of applications running on premises, which is giving you the required performance, required access to data. From an economical point of view, then you can have some of the applications hosted in one cloud, which is known for maybe hosting, another cloud, which is known for maybe a DR or a backup side. That takes you to stage 5, which is having your applications running across multiple infrastructure, be it on-premise, off-premise, and even off-premise in multiple cloud locations, making it a multi-cloud infrastructure. So as I said, Dell Technologies have been working to ensure that we provide you the right solution, and we provide you the consultation, which is why we have free consultations available for you. You can just give us a call and we'll be happy to help you out in whatever stage of transformation you are into. We can provide you the support that is required. And on top of this, we also offer consultation services. We provide deployment services. Even in a situation like COVID, we can come down to your data center, your office, and we can deploy solutions, be it CI turnkey appliance, or be it your own just a hardware which you want to build yourself. We have a 24/7 support services, which are the best in the market right now. We have managed services. If you want us to be hosting your services, we can also do that. And at the same time, if you want to train your own IT people, educate them on how to manage cloud, build cloud, or manage hybrid cloud environment, we will be able to provide all these solutions from a single shop called Dell Technologies. So you can boost time to value, accelerate deployment, expedite cost savings, and mitigate business risk. And this, I think, is one of the most important thing that we are doing right now. we at Dell Technologies also have something called as Dell Financial Services. And a time like COVID, wherein finance is not easy to come by, cash flow is a challenge. What we are doing is we are offering a 180 days deferred payment option. So you can look at the solution. We can design a solution for you, and you can buy the solution, and your payments will start only 180 days from now. So during this tough time of COVID, you don't have to make any payment, but you can still build your infrastructure, and then you can start paying 6 months from now. We also have 0% finance. Just imagine you get 0% finance, and that too you need to pay after 180 days. And if this is not good enough, then we also have this for you, wherein you can buy solutions, infrastructure solution for us, use it for the time being, for short term, maybe a 6 months, 12 months leasing, and at the end of 6 months, 12 months, if you wish to own it, you can own it. If you wish to return that, you can also do that. So we are not just helping you from providing consultation of what is right for you, providing solution, the right solution, right strategy for you, but we are also going to help you in deployment, management, training, and best-in-class services. And at the same time, we are going to also help you in financials in terms of maybe 6 months deferred payment, or 0% financing, or to do with providing you solution which you can use for time being, and then you can return it, or maybe you can own it at the end of tenure. Now, with that, I'll leave it for questions. Now, before I get into questions, I'll just want to spend maybe a couple of. I would like to keep this slide open for anyone who has joined a bit late. Please feel free to reach out to us on the numbers provided on the screen, or you can also reach out to us on the link that you see at the bottom. We have our consultants, advisors ready to help you in your journey of digital transformation. And as I said, right now it's all about survival. The one who was digitally transformed have a better chances of survival and to compete in the market. With that, I'll just go back to Alex and look, see if we have any questions which I can answer there.
Like your slide there. Lots of thank yous.
Yeah.
Gracias.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah.
Merci. Yes, thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed for that. Karen has asked, can you share your mailing details as well? So I don't know if you want to pop them up in the chat function yourself, or whether one of the slides you want to go back to.
Yeah, I think I have the first slide. Let me just go back to that.
Okay.
So I have my mailing details over here. Mohiuddin_Syed@dell.com. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So if you've got that, Karen, you can see that. Okay. So questions that we got coming through again, and one from me before we dive in would be, who would you say your ideal customer would be? What would be kind of the sweet spot that you'd be looking for customers at the moment who could embrace this hybrid cloud?
No, I would, as I said, a hybrid cloud is not a destination. For that matter, cloud is not a destination; it's a journey.
Yeah.
So I think we'll have to build from base, and that's exactly where we come in. Even for startups who want to start very small, or maybe having a couple of servers running on virtual environment, they can reach out to us. We are partnered with VMware. VMware as a company; it's family. So right from scratch, from a single unit to multiple servers, to building a highly available infrastructure, and then over the period of time, as you grow, as you start competing and become successful, you'll have to improve on your infrastructure. Then that's where the VMware Cloud Foundation comes in. And before getting into the stage of cloud or hybrid cloud, it is very important that we build the right base for it. So having the right solutions on premise, which are flexible enough to be able to help you take you on the journey of cloud or hybrid cloud. So I think that's the best thing about Dell. It is not catering or good for only hybrid cloud solutions or good for only cloud solutions. We cater right from startups, very small business, to very large enterprise. So in whatever part of the journey you are into right now, be it a startup, be it small business, or someone who's looking to build their own infrastructure, private cloud, hybrid cloud, I think Dell Technologies is one company in the market who can actually help you in any part of your journey.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to dive into some of the questions that have come up here for you, Syed. So, and some of them are quite personal, obviously, to the individual businesses. Will this hybrid cloud solution reduce my direct and indirect costs in a meaningful way?
Now, direct and indirect depends what exactly you mean by that. So as I said, there are consumption models available. So for example, a hybrid cloud model, we are talking about building your own private cloud as well as adoption of public cloud. Now, if you are talking about a cost over here, now there are multiple ways of consumption. You can go ahead and pay for it upfront, and you can start building your own private cloud and at the same time manage hybrid cloud. But a company like Dell, we are not asking you to pay everything upfront. We are providing you different consumption model. Even building your own private cloud, you can pay monthly or quarterly. For example, you can buy the entire kit from Dell. Let's assume you are looking at building your own private infrastructure, and you want to spend maybe, I don't know, 100 200K. You can buy that kit, but you don't have to pay upfront. What you can do is, even from that kit, you can only pay us for what you use from the kit, making it an operational model for you. Now, the idea is not always about cost. As I said, in this digital world, it is not always about ROI. It is about having the right infrastructure in place. And that's exactly what we have seen during COVID. The people, the companies who are surviving, who have survived this pandemic, are the ones who had the digital presence. Companies who were able to reach out to their customers even during lockdown period. Companies who had their employees who were able to work from home right from day one, not impacting their productivity. So it is not just always about cost. It is about, if you want to succeed in this tough market, do you have the right infrastructure in place? Because IT digital plays the most important role in companies' growth in today's world.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And nobody can look into a crystal ball and see what's going to happen in the future. But clearly, if there's been one pandemic, in my lifetime, probably your lifetime as well, then
Yes.
there'll no doubt be another. So those companies that are able to recognize that, and if they haven't got the infrastructure in place to enable their employees to be able to work from home, at the drop of a hat with no notice. If you get, because I know like India's lockdown was really quick, wasn't it? It was like super quick. Then now is clearly a good time as we're coming up into the Q3, Q4, finish the second half of the year strong. It is a great time to be able to do that. Okay, a couple of other questions that I've got here. Will internal customers realize greater business agility through this platform?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the idea of the cloud is to bring agility into your infrastructure. So you are not limited with your options. With this adoption of hybrid cloud, what you are able to understand is what is important is where I will spend money upfront, or maybe use a different consumption model. But things like maybe a DR, disaster recovery, which I need right now. Maybe I don't have the money. I'll maybe put that on a cloud. Maybe backup solutions, which I need right now. I cannot afford to lose my data, because data is like the gold now. Data is the next gold. That's what people say. Yeah. So I might put my backup data on public cloud. And again, it doesn't have to be just public. As I said, if I keep moving data to public cloud, then it becomes difficult for my internal IT team to manage. And IT is not just about hardware cost. Hardware cost only plays a role of 10-20%. But the remaining 80% goes into how you manage it, the people, the maintenance over a period of 2-3 years time. That's where most of the cost in infrastructure goes into. Hardware is just 10-20% of it. So we need to look at it from a longer period, from the 3 years from now. Will I be able to adopt the new technologies that are going to come in the market? Things like 5G, things like IoT. How flexible or how flexible is my infrastructure to support these new technologies that might come in the future? So it is, as I said, it is a mix of all. Yes, agility has to be built inside your infrastructure to be able to allow you to adopt new technologies that might come in the future, and at the same time understand what you need to put in-house and what you need to move into a cloud platform.
Thank you. Any questions you've got, folks? By the way, as I said earlier, just pop them up into the box as we look to wrap up shortly. Another question that we've got, just thought there was one coming up there. The question we got, You might be able to answer it better than me. Can the hybrid cloud solution support my IT organization's management and orchestration capabilities across on-prem and off-prem and across cloud native and legacy securely?
Exactly, that exactly is the idea. So we need to, if you remember the second slide, I said we need to utilize what we currently have and build on our existing infrastructure. Now we need to understand what your existing infrastructure looks like, what applications you're running. If you have applications, then we need to look at how we modernize those applications to be able to, build, run on a private cloud or a public cloud. So it starts from building the infrastructure locally, modernizing your application, and then will I be able to move these applications between in-house and move it onto a public cloud? So yes, certainly orchestration, and that's exactly what is built inside VCF. So if you look at a VCF as a technology, as a solution, what we are able to provide you is the orchestration tools, management tools, which will allow you to move applications between in-house and public without any disruption, able to move data between in-house and public without uh, any trouble at all. And the best part, as I said, is with all this, VCF is providing you one single management console, so you don't end up having different orchestration tool, different management tools, or different consoles provided by different public clouds that we currently have right now. So the idea is to make sure we have a single console, single place from where I manage it. My people are educated enough to manage the entire infrastructure of the hybrid from a single management console, and at the same time I ensure that I don't throw away my legacy infrastructure or legacy applications straight away, but to modernize them to be able to use it in a public or a hybrid cloud environment.
I know we've got people obviously coming in at different points of the webinar who might have missed the start again. So somebody said, how long are the payment options available, like the deferral for 180 days? Do you know?
No, we have started that I think almost a month and a half ago. I think once we realized there is going to be a lot of challenge in terms of finances, and then we said we will continue until we see the economics coming back. But I can't give you a date for now, but certainly it is going to be remaining for some time from now on, but I can't tell you exactly the date. But I can say as long until the time we get into the phase 3 or phase 4, maybe until we have economies coming back to normal, which is not in a near foreseeable future.
No.
So hopefully I would also like to say that we should continue with this for a longer period of time, and I hope this will continue, but I don't have a time frame or a date for that right now. But I don't see that going away, at least for the next 3 months time minimum, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, great, because it seemed pretty flexible, the options that were
Exactly.
that were available there, which clearly recognizes what a lot of people are going through. Sejit, he might have come in late again, says, hello, what does hybrid mean, Syed?
Okay, hybrid is basically a combination of public and a private cloud, or multiple clouds for that matter. There are different kinds of clouds. So when we use the word cloud, it is not one type of cloud. In cloud, we have public cloud with companies like AWS, Microsoft, Azure. And then on the other hand, we also have private cloud, wherein I can build my own private cloud within my own data center or a hosted data center, wherein I'm able to provide the same kind of service that all these public clouds are able to offer that. So if I have a public cloud and a private cloud of my own, or maybe a community cloud, like I said, multiple companies coming together and building their own cloud, combination of these cloud will be called a hybrid cloud. A combination of public or private is called a hybrid cloud. And then you can also call this a multi-cloud. Multi-cloud is any two types of cloud. Maybe two different public clouds is also called multi-cloud. That is also a term that is commonly used right now. So you might have services from Google, you might have services from AWS, two clouds, that's called multi-cloud. But if you have a private in between that, then it becomes a hybrid cloud for you.
There you go. That was the definitive word from Syed on what does hybrid mean. So hope that worked for you. Any last questions for anybody else that we've got? Let me know. I think we're probably there by the looks of things, Syed. So any closing remarks you want to leave us with? I'll bring up your slide again with the to focus the screen in case you've got any questions. And again, I always get asked this. Replays will be available literally as soon as I press end broadcast. And then literally within seconds, this webinar with Syed and myself will be available. So anybody that you think would find value in this, then please share the link that you used to watch this. If you're watching on social media as well, if you want to come back and watch the whole thing here, then all you do is register at festivalofenterprise.co.uk.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to watch it. Yeah, okay, there you go. So last slide. Yep, Syed.
Yeah, so just to closing comments, as I said, we have a team of consultants, a specialist with us. It is not just when you have to buy that you need to call Dell. We are here to provide you consultation, advice on what is right. Different people, as I said, have a different meaning, understanding of what cloud is, what hybrid cloud is. But we are here to help you out in your digital transformation strategy, how you want to adopt technology, how you want to use technology to be competitive in the market and grow. So feel free to reach out to us. As I said, on the slide, you can see the number. You have the website. You can reach out to us on the number or on the website, and you have my details. Please feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to help.
Awesome. And I've put my LinkedIn profile there as well. Anybody wants to connect online after this, I'm always happy to do so as well. And we look forward to the next live webinar with Dell next week as well. So thank you all for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Syed, pleasure meeting you. Thank you for sharing your time
same
with
here,
us.
Alex. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for taking the time and joining the session. Hope to cross our ways again in the future.
Awesome. Thank you very much
Just,
indeed. Thanks, my
cheers,
friend.
bye.
Bye, everyone.